Hey everybody, welcome back to LX News. I'm Nick. Now, we often talk about the importance of seeking help and going to therapy in order to improve our mental health. But I think we leave out a key step in this process oftentimes, and that's mustering up the courage and strength to actually go to therapy. Yeah, tennis star Naomi Osaka is shedding light on that process. She got candid about her decision to go to therapy in an interview that she had with Self magazine. She even admitted that she was skeptical about whether it would actually help her or not. Now, you guys may remember earlier this year, Naomi, she got emotional after a heckler shouted at her during the Indian Wells Masters tournament, and following that incident, Naomi decided to turn to therapy. Now, she said it's, quote, scary. It's kind of a scary first step to take, but I think it can be very helpful to everyone in some shape or form, and especially so to a large section of people. It doesn't mean you are broken. Interesting. Well, here to expand on this discussion is John Kim, host of the podcast, The Angry Therapist. Hey, John, welcome to the show. Why angry therapist? Are you an angry therapist?
No, I'm not today. I used to be angry because I was unhappy, didn't have a very meaningful life, went through a divorce. And also, I just thought it's kind of funny that a therapist is angry, and I realize now that it's my way of saying that I'm human.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I want to go back to Naomi here and just ask you about that first step. How important is realizing that it is okay to go to therapy and actually getting yourself there?
Yeah, and so much courage for her to talk about this stuff. I think it's important. We have to detach the meaning of what therapy is, because a lot of people think therapy means that something's wrong with us, that we're defective, that we're broken. And if you detach that and see therapy as, say like going to the gym or trying a new diet, then it becomes more empowering instead of shame-based. The reason why people hide going to therapy is because it's lined with shame.
Where does that shame come from? If I sprain my ankle, I'll go to the doctor, no problem, no shame in it. If I sprain my brain, it's like weird to go to therapy.
Yeah, it's society. It's stigma from previous generations. What's exciting now, though, I think we are seeing therapy as a privilege, a way of life, a lifestyle. It's a luxury. It's a non-negotiable. So I think we are starting to scrape stigma. But yeah, that comes from previous generations where when you saw a therapist or a psychologist, it meant that something was wrong with you.
Yeah, and I guess in the movies, the part when something's wrong with the character, there he is or she is just laying in that, couch, sofa, bed thing talking to a therapist. All right, so I want to point out another statement by Naomi. When she was talking to Self magazine, she said this, quote, "My goal used to be winning. Lately, I tried to ask myself questions like, will this make me happy?" That's an important question to ask yourself. It's an obvious one, but I think we don't ask ourselves that question often enough. What other questions would you add to that one when it comes to starting one's healing journey, or just important questions to ask ourselves in general?
Yes. I'm not a big fan of the word happy. It's kind of a bumper sticker. What does it mean? And also, people think that happy is like going to an island. It's a constant, and it's not, right? Happy, joy comes in moments. I like the question, is my life meaningful? Is what I'm doing honest to me, right? So when you say, am I happy? Sometimes there's a scoreboard attached. And sometimes you're tracing, someone else's definition of happy instead of your own. But if you say, "Is my life honest? Am I living a meaningful life?" Then it's a better question, I think.
Happiness. Are you saying that happiness doesn't exist? I mean, the way that we think about it, there is no such thing as just this one thing called happiness.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I mean, happy exists, but it comes in moments. It's not an island that we swim to, and then once you're there forever. Like love.
That's very interesting. You're a wise man, Mr. Kim.
Oh, thank you.
What are what are some things that someone should look for when trying to find a therapist that's right for them? Now they've decided they want to go. What's the next step, I guess, in choosing a therapist?
Yeah, I think you should actually announce it, meaning to ask your friends. The best are from referrals. It's funny that if we're looking for a good hairdresser or we're looking for a good fitness coach, we are asking everyone. But then when it comes to therapy, we're in our room by ourselves, keeping it a secret. And so I think actually asking around and saying, hey, I'm looking for a therapist. Do you know of a good one? Is the best way to find a great therapist.
Can everybody benefit from going to see a therapist? Or are there some people that really shouldn't go to a therapist at all?
No, everyone can benefit from therapy like everyone can benefit from exercise. Just sitting in a room and talking to someone else who's going to be neutral and hold that safe space, that in itself is therapeutic.
Fascinating. And just one last thing here, Mr. Kim, is there anything else that you think people should know or take away from this whole discussion that we're having?
I think that it's very exciting, and that I think we're all going through things and finally being vulnerable and saying that we need help. And so to me, it's a change of the times. This is going to grow and hopefully be the new way. And ultimately, if we all hold hands through this, we will scrape stigma, and therapy will just be like fitness or everything else that we do, part of our life.
John Kim, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're not angry. You're not angry at all.
Not anymore.
Me neither. Keep in mind, guys, if you are looking for a therapist, it may require some patience before you find the right one for you. So we thought we would give you rather a little list of a few therapist directories here that are available. Check them out.